Welcome to My Health, My Way, a podcast dedicated to empowering and supporting women living with endometriosis, adenomyosis, and infertility. We are your hosts. I'm Alana, Marketing Business Manager, and Sarah, a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. We are here to bring you stories and insights from a holistic perspective. Our aim is to foster a sense of community to help you navigate the challenges and triumphs that come with these conditions. Get ready to embark on a holistic adventure with us. Welcome to My Health, My Way, where health meets functional wisdom. Well, hi Sarah, welcome to episode 3.
Hello Alana.
So today we are talking about the hidden stressors that are inside the body.
Yes.
Now I know that you asked me to fill in a questionnaire. That's
Yes.
something that you give to all your clients. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
And so it basically asked me all the different symptoms that I had inside my body. And though I don't suffer from endometriosis, I do have my own health conditions, which I'm happy to share that I am a type 1 diabetic. So I have been since I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And so I have probably different stresses to what somebody with endometriosis might have.
Yeah.
However, this is just a really good way of explaining
My approach, yeah.
Correct. How you run things, how you actually speak with people, what you get them to do.
Yes.
So if you want to run us through that process, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that. So basically, this is just one of the questionnaires and one of the forms that I've have my clients fill out. I thought for the purpose of today's episode, this will be absolutely great to show people some of the internal stresses that are also very much linked rather than, being separate from another, and why it can be really difficult to find answers within the current system. So you filled out that your main complaint is fatigue.
Yes.
Okay. So, and your second main complaint is headaches.
Yes.
So you get those.
I have been a lucky headache sufferer since I was about 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. And you also have some stomach issues.
Yes.
And hormonal imbalances.
Yes, I think I'm starting to reach the age
premenopause,
of where starting to go through perimenopause.
Yes. And those moods that are kind of fluctuating and the frustration before your period arrives.
Definitely.
And the anger and things like that.
Yes.
Yes. And so what I then have clients do, and you did this for me, thank you, is fill out the questionnaire and really tell me all about your symptoms.
Yes.
And what I see on my end is really, and what I explain to clients is the physiological aspects of what we call metabolic chaos. Metabolic chaos is really what every woman presents with is a lot of symptoms in a lot of different systems. Yeah. And we actually call these hidden stressors.
Yep.
Okay, and hidden stands for hormones, immune system, digestion, detoxification, energy production, and nervous system. Plus, we also look at an oxidative stress.
Gotcha.
Bit of an add-on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it stands for, really.
Yeah.
And the reason we call them hidden stresses is because generally when you go to your doctor or specialist and they'll run some bloods and they'll do some scans, they'll tell you you're fine.
Yes.
The problem is with bloods. Blood is incredibly insightful, valuable. The problem with the current system is the way in which we look at blood is in a very statistical manner. So the blood ranges are very statistical. Okay. They are not based on healthy people.
Right.
If they were based on healthy people, a lot of people would quickly fall outside of that range.
Right.
However, every unwell, chronically ill person is within that range. Right. And the statistical range also change as we are getting more sick as a population.
Right.
So how helpful is that?
Yeah, not really.
So when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you you're fine. You're just as unwell as everyone else.
Great.
That is feeling tired and not function optimally.
I'm not the only one.
But I haven't found anything.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is why we call them hidden stresses.
Right.
Because these things require a little bit more of an evaluation. But then I did some scans and I had some bloods and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So really what I want to know is what is the sum of all of your symptoms in these systems? And your sum was 589.
Okay.
Which is up there.
Yeah.
Okay, you're very symptomatic.
Yes.
There's a lot happening.
Yes.
There's a lot of chaos, right?
Correct. Yes.
So the goal is really to be as close to zero as possible. Now, I will say that as we get older, we would expect it to be not at zero, but to be as close to zero as possible. Okay, that's the goal.
Yeah. And mine's 589.
Yours is 589.
Right. That's close to zero.
So I would say to you right now, Alana, we have got work to do.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
So obviously my program is 5 months long for a reason.
Yes.
A lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of clients opt to work with me longer than that because they have seen the improvements. I want to keep going.
Yes.
Okay. Because it changes and sorting this chaos out doesn't happen overnight.
No.
Okay. So what it is telling me is that within your endocrine system, okay, your hormones, you've got a 82. Okay, that's the sum of your symptoms and the severity of your symptoms in the system, in your endocrine system. And really what we look at within hormones is the ratio between cortisol and DHEA, which is really, really important, okay, because really what it comes down to in these systems is balance. So we call homeostasis.
Yes.
Okay, we look for balance.
Yeah.
And the more balance we can achieve in each of these hidden stressors, the more we give your body the opportunity to heal.
Okay. And so if you were a woman with endometriosis, and is there like a general, is everyone different? What I'm trying to say is if a woman with endometriosis filled this out, are they going to hit, like I hit 82 for hormone, are they going to hit the same kind of thing, or are they going to hit higher or lower, or is it just that everybody is generally just so different?
Different, yes. However, the majority of women will be most symptomatic with the hormones.
With the hormones.
Of course, yeah. So that is obviously, it's almost a bit self-explanatory. However, the thing that we need to understand is that all of them are just as symptomatic in the immune system, digestion, and detoxification. Right. Okay. So the hormone and immune dysfunction is generally a result of dysfunction within detoxification and digestion, and I'll go into that in a minute. Okay. So they are more the flow-on effects. They're not root causes.
Yep.
They're not things that we should be treating like that, as in attack the hormones. Not so much we can do so much about an immune system that's being lazy, because that really requires a nutritional approach and gut healing to begin with, and I'll also explain why that is. These are really more the result of the problem rather than the problem itself.
The actual problem. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So within hormones, 82. Now, if you go further on to immune system, you got 89 there, okay? So we are in an inflammatory state.
Right.
Okay? Now, with the immune system, we say about over 80% lives within the gut. And what we really mean by that is you have a mucosal barrier.
Yep.
Okay? It's basically your cells, and you want that mucosal barrier to be really thick and healthy. Okay. Because within that is your gut microbiome, and then underneath of that lives your immune system. When that mucosal barrier is kind of broken down a little bit, and it gets a bit what we call leaky gut, you might have heard of that. Yep. Is really when, what I always explain to people is when the guards are down and the immune system goes, hey, what's happening? Yeah. And it starts to kind of overreact. Okay. That's what it does, because it wants that mucosal barrier is like its protector, okay? Because we want that really healthy. For a lot of people, they don't have a healthy mucosal barrier. Right. Okay. A lot of medication, inflammatory diets, really, really break that down. Yeah. Okay. Even antibiotics, things like that, break that mucosal barrier down over time. And our immune system then starts to get really upset. Okay. It will generally get upset before it gets quiet, okay, before it goes, you know what, I can't handle this. And so this is why it says here on this piece of paper, the secretory IgA is really our primary immunoglobulin. We generally see that go up before it goes down. Okay. It's a bit like cortisol goes up before it comes down. Yeah. So it'll start to really throw at everything it's got at the issue until it kind of goes, I'm being silent now because I've tried to fight this. You're not going to heal your gut. You're not going to work on your mucosal barrier. You know what? I'm done. I'm out. So we can see it go up. If we have some acute infections, sometimes it can obviously be up. If there's something acutely happening in the body, that can be up. Yep. And if it's more of a chronic issue, we generally see that be quite low. Okay. Yep. So we want that to be healthy and in the vast majority of cases I see it's not very healthy.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
And so we know that the immune system is really being compromised.
Yep.
But the question still that needs to be asked is why?
Why? Yeah.
It's not helpful if we just say it's an immune system issue, because we know that really what we say about endometriosis is that it is in part an issue of the immune system,
Right.
because the immune system normally should take care of those lesions and not, kind of attack them and clear them up.
Yep.
Obviously, in women with endometriosis, that doesn't happen.
Yep.
So we say the immune system is not working, it's not doing its job.
Right.
But to just say that is also not helpful if we're not going to
yeah.
really answer the question, okay, why is my immune system being lazy? Why is it not doing its job? What's suppressing it? That is really what we want to get to the bottom of.
And so women with endometriosis, are they typically, even though it's obviously a symptom of what's going on within their uterus and outside their uterus, does it actually lead to being more run down? Does it lead to getting colds and flus more quickly, or are you more susceptible to that because your immune system is trying to work on the endometriosis within inside the body?
So we do find that women with endometriosis do show with more of the gram-negative bacteria, also LPS, lipopolysaccharides. However, that really just tells us that there's a lot of dysbiosis and there's different forms of dysbiosis present, and that definitely affects the immune system. But it also actually affects, digestion and detoxification. Yep. So overall, it is a whole body approach that needs to happen to actually look at the gut dysfunction. Then generally when we work on that, the immune system will eventually recover.
Okay.
And obviously, it's a whole body approach. So
yeah. Yeah, so it's not just one thing that's happening inside the body.
No.
Looking at this test and getting me to fill this out, there is so many different parts and they're all working together
yes,
to
they
give
definitely are.
The best health possible, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we look at digestion. You got an 87 there, so there's obviously a lot of symptoms there. Yes. With your digestion as well. Obviously, what we often see, actually, the majority of women with endometriosis do show with SIBO. So SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
Right.
And as I just touched on that as well, it is obviously, it's very common. Doesn't mean it's normal. Yeah. And also, really, when it comes to bacteria, it's not so much about addressing the bacteria or killing the bacteria only, because again, that's a bit short-sighted. In that, the question that needs to be answered is, why is the bacteria overgrowing?
Right.
What's the environment within? That's what it is about.
Is that the candida? Is that what?
Yeah.
When people say
that?
Candida
is different to small intestinal bacterial overgrowth again. However, it's really, again, with candida as well, it's really about the environment, okay? Candida is very opportunistic.
Yep.
Okay? It will thrive in an environment where it can.
Yeah.
So just say to people, it's not about going in with antibiotics or antimicrobials necessarily. It's about figuring out, why is the environment so inviting for bacteria to overgrow? Because what I have seen is, going in with killer mode and really trying to kill the bacteria. Yeah. And 3 months, 4 months down the track, we were back to where we started.
Right.
And then we cut out all the foods that to stop feeding certain bacteria. But then when we reintroduce the food and go back to normal, all the symptoms come back. So what's happening? Right. Yeah. And I like to explain to people, it's a little bit like when we kill the weeds in the garden, right?
Yep.
You can kill them all day you want. But if the environment's right, guess what? Bacteria will be back, right? Back. Yeah. Bit like that internally. If the environment is right, especially if we have a lot of women that run around with low stomach acid, which they do. Yep. A lot of stress, a lot of pain will do that alone. Yep. Okay, reduce your stomach acid. Makes it a really hostile environment for things to just not be killed by stomach acid to begin with.
Before we jump back into the second half of our show, I would like to share how you can work with Sarah. As a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, Sarah takes a holistic root cause approach to your well-being. Say goodbye to merely treating symptoms and hello to uncovering the root causes of your health challenges. Sarah utilises cutting-edge functional testing to get to the heart of the matter and design a personalised plan just for you. Just remember, she's only a click away. You can connect with her on Instagram under NutriRoot_health for valuable insights, health tips, and a peek into the world of functional diagnostic nutrition. If you're more of an email person, drop her a message directly at sarah@nutriRootHealth.com.au. That information will be in the show notes.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to work with me, your dedicated health detective.
Now let's dive back into the second half of our podcast. Stay tuned for more intriguing conversations. And so a lot of women who are actually in pain from endometriosis are usually on painkillers as well. And I'm guessing that painkillers are definitely going to affect the stomach acid, your stomach lining, things like that.
Absolutely. It's an unfortunate thing that I guess any kind of pharmaceutical comes with its negative side effects. I'm not saying don't take painkillers. Obviously, you need to make it through the day, but unfortunately it shouldn't be a long-term solution. Obviously, this is where we need to use a whole body holistic approach, making sure that we can actually reduce that so that we can heal overall, because it does put huge burden on digestion and gut health. And not to forget, it actually puts a burden on liver detoxification as well. So it actually depletes glutathione, which we need for detoxification. Okay, it's
And that's the next one that we've got here on the list.
You've got a 97 in your detoxification system. So what really, and being the most symptomatic there, would you have picked that? Would you have gone, it must be down to my detoxification system?
No, not at all. Okay. No. I would have definitely thought it was my hormones or my immune system. So,
well, your estrogen needs to be metabolized by your liver 24/7.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. And
it's a connection many don't even make. It's like, we have to look at the way in which you detoxify your estrogens. Which pathway does the body choose? Because there are different pathways. Some are more inflammatory, some are the preferred pathways, so that that estrogen doesn't turn toxic within the body. That's one way. Okay, I'm not saying that everyone runs around with too much estrogen or excess of estrogen. We'll go into that, but it is a possibility. Okay, so it's something that I obviously have to look at. So we see a lot of liver congestion as a result of gut dysfunction. And the way in which that happens is if we have too much of bad bacteria, your liver will have to deal with that. Okay.
So your liver is like the processing unit for that.
So it needs to kind of filter through this bad bacteria. And just say, if other substances are there, even like alcohol comes in on top of all of that, that's a toxin to the body, full stop. It just is to the body. So it's got to metabolize that first. So now you got dysbiosis, which is, could potentially be chronic. And then you have, you throw in other inflammatory foods and drinks. And now your hormone's really going to get put on a back burner because your liver is a bit busy. Okay. Maybe you're even taking things that are depleting your liver of glutathione, antioxidants it requires to detoxify. Maybe you can't digest your proteins very well because you have digestion that's not working well. Now your liver is really going to struggle because it really needs protein, okay? It needs those amino acids. There's a lot of connecting dots there and things that can really, really go wrong with detoxification, and it probably won't show up in your blood because by the time it shows up in your blood, you're probably ready to be treated with some sort of pharmaceutical. There's no prevention, no preventative care of that. It's a very reactive form of care. Okay, whereas we really like to look at these things before, you need treatment or medication. So we like to sort that out, obviously. And then energy production, you have a 77. Okay, it's not great. Obviously, your main symptom is fatigue. And this really, really is, again, something where we have to look at the body on a whole and all of these symptoms to reduce that fatigue and up your energy, and also really look at your nutrition and seeing that it is balanced, okay? So this is, again, something where we need to look at blood sugar balance, detoxification. A lot of times we find that when we address that and detoxification is more optimal, energy production will go up. Then nervous system, you've got a 90, which obviously you've got a lot of symptoms over there. We obviously have a lot of moods up and down. So I would imagine that sometimes your quality of sleep gets affected, or you feel like you haven't slept properly.
Definitely.
So often what I find is really a lot of women are stuck, what we call in fight or flight. Okay. And so really what we don't want to be stuck on either side of the nervous system. What we want the body to be able to do is really be more balanced and be able to deal with the stressor and then kind of calm itself down and balance itself between parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system side. But a lot of times we can get stuck on one side, which is not great. it's not where we want the body to be. We don't want to be in that constant sympathetic overload, which is where I find most women in, fortunately. So they've really lost the ability to regulate themselves with that. So a lot of women can't deal with stress very, very well.
What are the symptoms of somebody in distress in their parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system?
Someone in the sympathetic nervous system or more, stuck on that side would generally be someone who is more of that go person that never stops, probably even has an inability to relax and sit still. You might find them sort of be more the fidgety people. We generally find they're the ones that they're more anxiety prone, whereas we find that the ones on the parasympathetic side might be more the ones that are the ones with the depression. So they kind of, the two different sides. So you might find that the ones that are in the parasympathetic are really, they have an inability to kind of like push themselves forward. They're really lethargic. The sympathetic is probably obviously the opposite. Really, you want to be bouncing between them two in a healthy manner where your body can balance between. So you got a stressor coming on. Okay, we need to activate that sympathetic side. Okay, we need to deal with it, but then also your body will calm back down, and then that cortisol will come.
Original state, not stay heightened in either one or the other.
Yes, right. So that's what we want the body to be able to do.
And we're finding that, I guess, in today's society and with what we're all doing, especially as women,
find more people in fight or flight.
Yeah, that we're not returning back to a homeostasis. We are.
So that chronically high cortisol, we keep pushing it out. Like we can't deplete ourselves with cortisol. We absolutely can. And that's when we really come into the more chronic issues, when we've really depleted it.
And this is what you are finding with women who are, trying to conceive, can't conceive, found out we've got endo, but they've also got these other issues on top of just the basic, I've got endometriosis as well.
I guess, it comes with a lot of stresses, not just the physical stress, it's the emotional stress, the mental, emotional, where, yes, we absolutely, it's really life-sucking.
Definitely.
It really does suck the life out of you. So I think, it's not just the physical side. It is really all-consuming in a way. Absolutely.
So once you've got someone to fill out this and you go through, we've got their hormone levels, immune, digestion, detoxification, energy production, and nervous system and stress levels. When somebody's filled that out and you look at their profile and you're like, okay, what is the next step? What does it mean when they are in this metabolic chaos?
Well, metabolic chaos is really obviously a sum of all of the symptoms in each of these systems that I've just explained. And really what I want to know is what's underneath all of this. Why is the client presenting the way they are? It's not just about finding that dot on a piece of paper. There's a lot of practitioners who can run functional labs, right? I mean, that in itself is not the art. I think it really lies within connecting the dots, not just between different tests that I run, but also correlating back to the client and really understanding how did all this come about. And if we have an ability to listen to the client and then correlate with the test, that in itself tells a huge story. And we don't always need all the tests. If we really have the ability to listen to a client's story and have them fill out this questionnaire, it does really paint a picture of all of the chaos that is within. So now I want to dig deep into why. What's really the two main things it generally comes down to is, what is the body missing? Number one. Okay, because there's always lots of things missing. So why the body doesn't function optimally. And then secondly is, what is the body holding on to it cannot get rid of that is really upsetting it. And that is, for me, the two biggest questions I want answered for every single client. And so I always figure it out, but that's my detective work. It's really, I do not leave that stone unturned. And I really, really dig deep in terms of figuring out what it is for that particular client. again, it's the answers, surprisingly, are always different.
Yes, exactly.
And so this is something where I guess it might surprise people. They might, what's really underneath? Is it all the same? Like, what really is it? And really, it's not all the same.
Yeah.
The nutritional deficiencies and the gaps, generally different.
Yeah.
And this is where I guess we like to always, my most hated question is probably, what do I take?
Right.
Not what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I take?
What do I take?
Is there some sort of, supplement you can just give me?
Magic pill?
It's like that magic pill. And I guess, it's all a bit ingrained in us, isn't it? Like there's that magic pill. No, there isn't. Yeah. And there's also no magic supplement. It does look a little bit different for each client. And that's where the testing is really, that is what is gold at the end of the day, because it does really fill the gaps for you. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'd still be guessing if I just went off this. Yeah. Which is why I utilize testing.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's what would be my next step is once we've gone through all of this and we've done the intake and the initial consultation, I would then order the tests. Yeah. And generally the second consultation is the results and recommendation session, which can go up to 2 hours, even 2.5 sometimes, depending on what we have to discuss. But it's very detailed. I explain everything in detail, the findings and the correlations between the symptoms and the findings, and then really build the body back up. Yeah, that's what it is. Build the body back up. Give it what it needs to heal and remove what's disturbing it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for getting me to fill that in and explaining all of the aspects of metabolic chaos and what that all is. And if somebody wants to work with you, we'll have all the information in the show notes of how they can do that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed the enlightening discussions and insights. If you're ready to take charge of your health journey and unravel the mysteries of endometriosis, adenomyosis and infertility, don't forget to connect with Sarah on Instagram at NutriRoot_health or shoot her an email at sarah@nutriRootHealth.com.au. That will be in the show notes as well.
Remember, your health is an ongoing journey, and I'm your detective ready to help you crack the case. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and until the next time, take care of yourselves.